Welcome back, my first grade writers. Before we begin today, I'm going to ask that you go ahead and grab your writing folder with your how to writings in them. And then I'm going to need you to either grab a colored pen, either blue or a red crayon, or a red marker, or a marker or crayon that's a different brighter color, because we are going to be doing some revising and editing today. So go ahead and grab those things. If you need to push pause in the bottom corner of your video, go ahead and do that. And when you return, you can hit play when you are ready to go again. Writers, we have been working on our how-to writings, and I know you have been working very hard and you want them to be the best that they can be. Today, I'm going to remind you how to use our revising and editing to help make those writings the best that they can be. And we are going to be looking at our how-to writing rubrics to help us when we are revising and editing today. When we revise and editing, or when we revise and edit, we are going to be focused on 4 steps. Our first step is to find a partner. Now, I know we are not at school, so you can't have one of your classmates as your revising and editing partner, but you can have somebody in your house be your partner. Maybe it's one of your grown-ups, or maybe it's an older brother or sister. You can have somebody else in your house be your partner for this. So think in your mind right now, who am I going to get to be my partner? Is it going to be my mom or my dad, my aunt, my grandma, my grandpa? Think in your head who you want your partner to be. Our second step is to read our story to our partner. So we're going to sit down with our partner with our how-to writings in front of us, and we are going to read our story to them. Our third step is to talk about our writing. Maybe they're going to tell you some things that they really liked about you writing, like all the detail that you've put into it, or the pictures that you've worked very hard on with those details and descriptions in those pictures. Maybe they like how neat your handwriting is looking, or how well you are working on stretching out those sounds in your words. So you're going to talk about your writing for number 3. And number 4 is you're going to go back and fix your writing. So we're going to start by number 1, finding that partner. Number 2 is reading your writing to your partner. Step number 3 is talking about your writing. And step number 4 is going back and fixing your writing, or adding detail, or making sure your words have spaces, there are capitals at the beginnings of your sentences, and periods at the end, or question marks or exclamation points. Making sure you have that punctuation in there. And now that we're working on a how-to writings, there are some things that I want you to look for in your writing. I'm going to show you our how-to rubric, so give me a moment here while I switch my camera over to my document camera. And while I do that, I want you to go ahead and get out your Unit 3 Writing Toolbook and flip to that very last red page, which will be our how-to writing rubric. There we go. All right. Hopefully you got your how-to writing rubric out and setting in front of you. Now remember that a rubric is a tool that writers use to rate their writing to make sure it's the best that it can be. So let's practice using the rubric together. I have a story to read to you, and we are going to pretend that you are my partners. And I will read the book to you, and you guys are going to help me use the rubric to figure out how to make it better. So I'm going to start by reading this how-to writing to you. So listen along as I read. How to brush your teeth. Brushing your teeth is very important. In this book, you will learn how to brush your teeth. To brush your teeth, you will need a toothbrush, toothpaste, and a sink. First, turn on the water. Get your toothbrush wet. Open the toothpaste. Squeeze a little bit onto your toothbrush. Now you are ready to brush. Put the toothbrush in your mouth. Make small circles with the brush and clean all your teeth. Make sure to get your back teeth too. Well, I'm sure some of you saw while I was reading these some areas that could be fixed up, maybe in my spelling or my capital letters or my punctuation at the end. I'm sure some of you caught on to some of the things that could be fixed right off the bat. But let's go ahead and look at our rubric. Like I said earlier, a rubric is a tool to help writers kind of rate their writing to make it the best that they can. When we are using our rubric, I think it's helpful to go step by step. So we start with our first area of focus here, and we work our way down our other areas of focus. And we look at each area and then see if our writing has that in it. So our first one here says, does my book use 3 or more steps to teach the reader how to do something? So I'm going to look back in my writing. I'm going to see here. We have, in the beginning, brushing your teeth is very important. In the book, you will learn how to brush your teeth. To brush your teeth, you will need a toothbrush, toothpaste, and a sink. First, turn on the water. So that's step number 1. I'll zoom out for you to see this a little better. So first, step number 1 is turn on the water. Get your toothbrush wet. There's step number 2. Open the toothpaste. There's step number 3. Squeeze a little bit onto your toothbrush. There's step number 4. Now you are ready to brush. Put the toothbrush in your mouth. There's step number 5. Make small circles with the brush and clean all your teeth. There is step number 6. Make sure to get all your back teeth. So, does my book use 3 or more steps to teach the reader how to do something? It sure does. It has more than 3 steps. It has 6 steps in this writing. Let's go ahead and look at our second area here. It says, does my writing tell the reader what he or she will need? Does it tell the materials? Does it list those materials like we were working on earlier? Well, let's go back and look. It says right here, to brush your teeth, you will need a toothbrush, toothpaste, and a sink. So does my writing list my materials? Yes, it does. My next thing says, does my writing have details? Does this writing have details? While I was reading my writing to you, did I have details in it? Let's read a little bit and see if we have some details in it. First, turn on the water. Get your toothbrush wet. Open the toothpaste. Squeeze a little bit onto your toothbrush. Now you are ready to brush. Put the toothbrush in your mouth. Make small circles with the brush and clean all your teeth. Make sure to get the back teeth too. So what do you think? Do you think that I have enough details in my writing, or do you think maybe I could go back and add some more to it? I agree. I think that we could maybe add some more, but there's definitely some details in there. Just like when it says here, make small circles with the brush and clean all your teeth. That is adding some details in there. They need to know to make those small circles, which helps when brushing your teeth. Maybe I can go back later and add some more details in if I just want to get some of those extra details into my writing. My next area of focus here says, does my writing have transition words? Remember, in our writing toolbook, we have that green page, the green page that looks like this, and it says transition words and phrases on it, and it gives you some words and phrases you can use throughout your writing. So we have our beginning, our middle, and our end words and phrases that we can use throughout our writing. So let's look back in our writing and see if we have some of those transition words in writing. It says, to brush your teeth, you will need a toothbrush, toothpaste, and a sink. First, turn on the water. Get your toothbrush wet. Open the toothpaste. Squeeze a little bit onto your brush. Can you think or see anywhere in this writing where maybe I could add some transition words? Or tell me where you see some transition words at? That's right, I think so too. I kind of switched over to this orange marker here because I can't seem to find where I put my red one. So here we go. We have a transition word right here. First, turn on the water. Get your toothbrush wet. I heard somebody say we could put in a transition word right here before the word get. Let's look at our transition words and phrases page. And we're going to look at these middle transition words and phrases because this is in the middle of our writing. I might pick this word next. Next, get your toothbrush wet. Open the toothpaste. Squeeze a little bit onto your toothbrush. Do you see anywhere else that I could add in a transition word? I think so too. Before this word, open the toothpaste, maybe we could add in a transition word or phrase. Now, I've already used the word next, so maybe I'll pick something different. What if I pick after that? After that, open the toothpaste. Squeeze a little bit onto your brush. Do you see anywhere else I could add in a transition word? No, I think so too. Before this word squeeze, we could add another transition word. We already used the word next. And the phrase after that, I'm going to use this word then. Then squeeze a little bit onto your toothbrush. So I'm going back and I'm adding in some transition words that maybe I forgot to put in there when I first wrote down my writing. Next, my rubric says, I'll zoom in here for you. It says, does my writing have spaces, capital letters, and punctuation marks? So now we are looking at the spaces, the capital letters, and punctuation in our sentence, or in our writing, I should say, not just our sentence. When we are looking for things like punctuation and capital letters and our spelling, I think it's very helpful to go sentence by sentence to make sure you're not missing anything. So I'm going to start with my first sentence here. It says, brushing your teeth is very important. Does my sentence have a capital letter at the beginning? It does. Does my sentence have a period at the end? Yep, it has a period at the end. And do I have spacing in between my words? Yep, I have that spacing, so that sentence looks good. Now I'm going to move on to my next sentence. It says, in this book, you will learn how to brush your teeth. Let's see here. Does anybody see anything that I could fix in that sentence? Capital letters, periods, or spaces between my words? Oh, I noticed that too. Right off the beginning, I didn't put a capital at the beginning of my sentence. So I'm going to put a line through that and put a capital letter I here for my word in. So in this book, you will learn how to brush your teeth. Does anybody see anything else in this sentence? Any capitals or punctuation that I need to put in? I noticed that too in this word how. That word is in the middle of our sentence, so it doesn't need to be capitalized. Remember, capital letters go at the beginning of our sentences, not in the middle, unless it's a name of someone or something. So we have, in this book, you will learn how to brush your teeth. So we went through and we fixed some of our capital letters and punctuation. We checked to see if there were spaces between some of our words. Let's look at our last thing here on our rubric that says, did you use the word wall and other word strategies to help spell words? Well, let's go back. In that sentence we just read, in this book, you will learn how to brush your teeth. Are there areas that we could have used our word wall or our word strategies while we were spelling out a word? That's right. Right here we have the word you, but is you spelled correctly? No, it's not. So we're going to go ahead and cross that out. You is one of the words on our word walls in our writing folder. And how do you spell you, everybody? Yeah, it's Y-O-U, not Y-U-O. So we're going to go ahead and go back and fix that word. Let's go through and kind of look at the rest of our writing. This sentence says, now you are ready to brush. Do you see any words that could use some fixing in that sentence? Now you are ready to brush. I noticed that too. Our word are is just spelled with a R here. And although it sounds like you'd spell it with R is on our word wall. And it's spelled A-R-E, not just R. So we took our rubric, and I will go back when we are finished with this lesson today, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to continue to look through my rubric and fix anything that needs to be fixed throughout my writing. But what I want you to do today is we're going to go through those 4 steps. Remember, step number 1 is to get a partner. Find a grown up or an older brother and sister in your house. Step number 2 is to read your story to your partner. Step number 3 is to talk about it with your partner. Talk about the things they liked or things that could be fixed or in your writing. And then number 4 is to go back and to fix up your writing, just like we were just doing. We were using our rubric and maybe some of that feedback from our partners to fix up our writing. So what I want you to do today is to go through those 4 steps. And then I want you to have your rubric out and ready. I want you to go through your writing. Follow each one of these focus areas on our rubric and go through your writing and fix, add. Make sure you have capitals at the beginning, periods at the end. Make sure you are stretching out the sounds in your words you don't know how to spell, and you are using your word wall if you need to, because there's lots of words on there for you if you get stuck on a word. So go ahead. Now is your time to go back and fix, revise, and edit your own writing. When you are done, you should have a lot of these little scratch marks and fixes throughout your writing. So I will see you next time on our next writing lesson.